guys, I'm going to give you a demo on today's prompt. So I have my frame already drawn as instructed. You can see that I never draw my frame with a ruler. You can if you want to, but I kind of discourage that because it tends to make you get all crazy and stressed out. So I've picked two objects. One of them is a bottle of ink, and one of them is a pair of scissors, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is trace one of my objects inside my frame, and I'm going to try to fill about 75% of the frame. All right, I'm going to be using pencil for this step. You may not see my objects while I'm drawing them. I prefer that you see the drawing. Okay. I'm also not going to worry about getting this absolutely realistic. I'm going to do my best with my drawing. But, you know, it's just the outline. It's not a realistic drawing is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a drawing that's a line drawing. Okay. Let's see. So it's more like an illustration, I suppose. And illustrations are not usually intended to be extremely realistic. Okay. Okay, so that's the top part of the scissor here. And actually this part is technically an inside detail, so I'm going to have to erase that after, but I suppose it made it a little bit easier for me to make my brain understand how to draw this. Because scissors are sometimes hard to draw, but for some reason I really like them because they still look good even though they're wonky when you draw them sometimes. They're always wonky when I draw them anyway. I don't know, maybe I like them because this is a thing for me that I tend never to be able to make realistic, so I just kind of give it up to the universe most of the time. Ooh, that is really wonky. I might fix it a little bit. Okay, what is going on here? Okay, that's much better. Okay, yeah, that's better. Don't draw your lines so dark that you can't erase them, okay? Okay, now I will erase these lines here because remember, you're supposed to be drawing outlines only, okay? For this phase. Tomorrow we'll be doing another phase to this project, but it's not going to be what you think, so don't jump ahead. All right, so that's my first object. My second object needs to be drawn inside my frame again. It needs to take up about 75% of the paper, roughly, depending on the shape of the object. And I need to overlap my previous object, at least 50% of it. Overlap about 50% of my previous drawing is what I'm trying to say. So I'm actually just going to plunk this right in the middle, this drawing. And I'm going to start by translating that into like a box shape really lightly so that I can change it later, meaning I'm going to have to round the bottom. And I may have to, like, I don't want to include a line that goes across here because that's not staying on the inside. So now I'm going to be including all these little bumps here. You need to give me all the details on the edge of your object too. Okay, let's see here. I don't know how symmetrical I'll need to be able to make this, but I'm going to try. Okay, all right. So this line here is the one I need to erase. Make sure you can find your objects for tomorrow's lesson because we're going to need to look at them again. Now I'm going to make this line a little bit rounder as it goes towards the viewer, okay? I'm even okay with that double line. I kind of like it. Okay. Okay. Now, the next step is to take you've got 2 Sharpies in your packet. You're going to take the ultra fine the fine point Sharpie, which, there it is, it says fine point. This one's the ultra fine point. We're taking the fine point first. You're going to trace one of your objects in the fine point Sharpie. Try not to let your marker rest in one place, okay, while you're doing this, because it will tend to bleed into the paper. If that happens, do not worry. We'll talk again about how to clean up those kinds of things, and it will still look awesomely cool when we're done, okay? Ooh, that's kind of wonky. That's okay. Okay, scissors. And now in the other Sharpie, which is the finer point, and it's called ultra fine, you're going to trace your next drawing. Remember with this ultra fine point Sharpie, oftentimes you kind of have to scribble on a scrap piece of paper and get it going. That's because the tip is so small, it takes a little bit for the ink to run through it, and especially if it's been sitting around. Okay, that's it for today. Erase any pencil lines that still show. Okay, until tomorrow.